Imagine this. In the warm blue waters of the Caribbean Sea, only a few hundred miles from the Venezuelan coast, a formation of American warships moves with precision. 8 vessels, bristling with launch tubes and advanced radar, glide across the horizon, while a nuclear-powered submarine stalks silently beneath the waves. On their decks sit more than 12,000 missiles, and their systems are ready for action. Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro has sounded the alarm, claiming these weapons are aimed directly at his country, and warning that Venezuela will transform into what he calls a republic in arms if the United States launches an attack. But what exactly is happening here? What kind of ships are involved? What weapons do they carry? And what could happen if tensions erupt into open conflict? Among the ships sailing nearby are Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyers, including the Gravely, the Jason Dunham, and the Samson, some of the most advanced surface combatants in the world. Each destroyer is equipped with the Aegis combat system, a powerful fusion of radar and computing technology capable of tracking hundreds of targets at once. Their vertical launch systems carry a mix of missiles, SM-2s for air defense, SM-3s, and SM-6s for intercepting ballistic threats, and Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles able to strike targets more than 1,000 miles away with surgical accuracy. Alongside them sails the USS Lake Erie, a Ticonderoga-class cruiser. Larger than a destroyer and carrying even more missiles, the Lake Erie has a history of successful ballistic missile intercepts that showcase its advanced radar and combat systems. Its vertical launch cells can hold over 100 missiles, ranging from Tomahawks to surface-to-air interceptors and anti-ship weapons. Beneath the sea lurks the USS Newport News, a Los Angeles-class fast-attack submarine armed with Tomahawk missiles and torpedoes. Its greatest advantage is stealth. It can approach coastlines undetected, launch devastating strikes on infrastructure, and disappear without leaving a trace. If Maduro fears hidden weapons, this submarine is the reason. But the American presence does not end there. An amphibious-ready group centered on the USS Iwo Jima, an amphibious assault ship that functions much like a small aircraft carrier, has also been deployed. It carries a Marine Expeditionary Unit, complete with helicopters, F-35 B Lightning II jets, amphibious assault vehicles, and thousands of Marines. Supporting the Iwo Jima are 2 San Antonio-class transport dock ships, the Fort Lauderdale and the San Antonio. Together, they carry roughly 4,500 sailors and Marines, forming a highly mobile force able to conduct landings, evacuations, or limited combat operations. So where does the claim of 1,200 missiles come from? It is not an official figure from the U.S. Navy, but rather an estimate of the combined capacity of these vessels. Each destroyer can carry about 90 to 96 missiles, the cruiser more than 120, and the submarine dozens more. When all are added up, the number quickly climbs into the hundreds, and with the amphibious ship's own defenses included, a rough total of 1,200 is not impossible. Whether every launch tube is loaded and aimed at Venezuela is another matter. Now imagine how a military operation might unfold. First comes the show of force, warships pressing close to Venezuelan waters, radar sweeping, aircraft patrolling overhead, sending a message before a single shot is fired. If hostilities break out, the opening salvo would almost certainly be precision missile strikes. Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from destroyers, cruisers, and submarines could hit command centers, radar installations, air defense batteries, and airfields. In minutes, Venezuela's ability to coordinate defense would be crippled. Submarines like the Newport News would strike hardened targets with little warning, their stealth making them almost impossible to counter. Once skies and seas are under American control, the amphibious group could move in. Marines would storm ashore by helicopter and landing craft from the Iwo Jima, seizing ports, runways, or coastal strongholds. F-35s and Harrier jets would provide close air support, neutralizing remaining defenses. San Antonio-class ships would deliver armored vehicles and supplies to establish a beachhead for continued operations. But Venezuela has its own plan. Maduro claims millions of civilians have been mobilized into militias, promising to turn the nation into a republic in arms. Such resistance would not stop the initial missile barrage, but it would make any long-term occupation extremely costly. Guerrilla tactics, urban resistance, and a war of attrition could bleed an invading force far beyond the opening strikes. This raises the critical question: would the United States truly go so far as to invade? Most experts believe the answer is no. Missile launches or shows of force are one thing. Committing troops to remove a government is something entirely different, with risks of regional instability, global condemnation, and unpredictable consequences. The more likely aim is deterrence, signaling, and pressure. By placing such powerful forces close to Venezuelan shores, Washington sends a message that it can act if it chooses. 8 warships, 1 submarine, 4,500 Marines, and the potential of 1,200 missiles. These are not just numbers. Each destroyer carries enough firepower to devastate multiple targets. Each Marine unit is trained to land on hostile shores within hours. Each submarine disappearance is a mystery no adversary can solve. Already the presence of this fleet has shifted the geopolitical balance across Latin America. Neighbors watch nervously, allies tread carefully, and rival powers are paying close attention. Whether this ends in diplomacy or conflict remains uncertain, but the image of American warships looming near Venezuela, missile tubes bristling, Marines on standby, and a submarine lurking unseen has already etched itself into the imagination of millions around the world.